What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Booth Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I know most of you people are out there probably Christmas shopping and getting ready for the holidays, because this month, this year, everything is going by so damn fast. I appreciate all of those who have stepped in and stopped by to say hello and that are going to be in the chat. I see Miss Angelica Barron. What's up, Angelica? Angelica, I have not forgotten about you. I've got the pictures. I just got back home, about an hour ago, and I'll email you probably later on this evening about the picture and stuff on that. Your daughter is beautiful, by the way. Eastside Herald, GOAT, Astros, Texans, and Rockets. Actually, let me go ahead and bring in, I've got my man Tyson Kemp is the first one in the house. What's up, Tyson? How are you doing?
Doing good, Mark. How's everything out there in Virginia, my man?
Man, I'm just trying to wake up. Shoots, it's already dark outside. I'm like, is it bedtime? I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off and trying to keep up with everything that is the Dallas Cowboys and so on. And it's been crazy because it's all been Odell Beckham Jr. One minute you hear he's in great shape. The next minute he might not play. Of course, he's been to Buffalo. He's been to New York Giants. The Giants think they had a good deal and thinks he really wants to play with it. It's just like, I just want it over with. I am tired of the Odell Beckham Jr. And I put content out there about it because it's out there. And so one of these things may actually be true, and just kind of pass it on to everybody. How you feel about it, Tyson?
Me, it's either way for me. So I figure that the more tools you have in your toolbox, the better. But I hear some of the other content creators were saying that it just could entice Kellen Moore to want to get past happy.
That's the worry for me.
You know what I'm saying? So I see it from both sides. So me, I'm happy with what we have, because I think CD and Michael Gallup is really taking it personal. That the front office is looking elsewhere, looking outside the locker room, to think that they need that to actually compete for a championship. And so if you ever play sports, you're really competitive. You're real competitive, and a lot of them have, little egos and have a little edge, but like, hey, man, I'm the man. I can help this team get to the promised land. We don't need anybody else. Yeah. So, that's where I'm at, man. I mean, I like what we have. I like the continuity. I like the chemistry, that everybody have, and just the love for each other in the locker room, which I think is very key, when you're talking about, reaching that mountaintop and actually winning a championship. You got to have that camaraderie, with the players, in the locker room. And I think, he could shake it up, but do you want to take that risk?
Yeah. That's the big question is, do you want to take that risk? And here it is, you think about Michael Gallup, how long it's taken him to get back in shape, and knowing that he's had 2 ACL injuries here back to back in 2 years. Man, that's a lot of recovery and stuff. So there's no guarantee that he's going to be all that. And if the reports are that he's looking for $20 million, I don't know that anybody's going to give him $20 million right now on a long-term deal. So I'm not sure about that. Mary Lawn, what's up, Mary Lawn? Welcome. Miss Gibson, how are you doing in the house? What's up? And yes, I have picked up the 3-foot sub. Tomorrow, it's going to be interesting. So, I love going around the NFL each week and figuring out what each city kind of is known for. Indianapolis is known for a fried pork chop sandwich. So what we're going to do is, it's typically lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise and onions. I'm going to do that for half of it. The other half is going to be a mushroom gravy with pork chops. That's going to be good. I think it's, at least I think it's going to be good. So don't worry. We got the 3-foot sub as we get ready to take on the Colts, and we're going to see what kind of Colt team we've got that we're going against. Did anybody watch the Colts game this past week?
No, I missed it. I didn't watch it.
Christopher Edwards, what's up, Christopher? Welcome to the chat there, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, OG? How you
No,
doing?
same stuff, different day, man. How you doing today?
Oh, I can't complain. I get an off day.
I was talking about the Colts game. Jeff Saturday had his honeymoon when they played the Raiders. They ended up beating the Raiders, bitch slapping them like everybody. And, all of a sudden, everybody's like, yeah, this is a great hire. He doesn't need to have any experience to be a head coach. And then they came close with the Eagles, just couldn't stop the draw. And then this past week, you saw some of the worst clock management
Clock
ever.
management. Yeah.
2 minutes ago, you got three timeouts and they only ran three plays. Boo Cowboys, Johnson all day. Mark, stop. I'm making you hungry. So you're going to start a YouTube channel? Hey, man, go. Yeah, all I can tell you is when you start that YouTube channel, keep going at it, man. It takes time to get traction, and, be prepared to get your feelings hurt, too. Be prepared to have haters and trolls, too, out there. The funniest thing about haters and trolls, it seems like those guys, the ones that tell you suck and never watch you and everything else, it seems like they're always watching and telling you everything that you do wrong. I don't understand that one myself, but it is what it is. I see Terrell Pinkney is joining in here. So how are we all feeling about tomorrow's game? Do we think this is going to be the 10.5-point spread that we're supposed to be winning, that's going to be an easy one? Or is this going to be one of those ones that's going to be, here we go, we're sinking to the competition? What's up, Roland Review, Stacy Schubert? How are you doing?
No, I think we should dominate this game. We shouldn't leave any question. I'm like, oh, it was a close game. No, this domination from start to
Mm-hmm.
finish.
We would want it to be. Interesting to me is I actually can't wait to see the early games. I can't wait to see the Giants versus Washington, because this is like moving Sunday to really start staking your claim on stuff. The Giants or Washington, one or the other, can actually make a great statement and help set themselves up for draft position, as well as us too, if we get our win against the Colts. But also, I think if the Eagles win tomorrow, I think they actually lock up a playoff spot. And then it's going to be a lot harder for us to catch up. If the Titans, which I don't know what kind of team the Titans are, I wish Thomas Garrett was in here because he can tell me how they feel down there. The Titans have beat like the Colts twice. They've beaten like the Texans. They've beaten like the Jaguars. They've beaten like the Raiders. And I think they've beaten like the Steelers. So you start looking at it saying, yeah, they got a lot of wins, but do they really count? Will they be able to do anything against the Eagles? Ruben Walls, welcome, Ruben. How are you doing?
What's up, Mark?
Just survive, just living in the world and just trying to survive.
I got the package this time, Mark.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you, Mark.
You're very, very welcome. I don't know what happened to it the first time.
I don't know, but if I find somebody wearing that same shirt,
Yeah, because you are the only one that's gotten one of those other than me. So if you see somebody wearing that besides me, that's the person that got your shit. Okay, come on, Titans. That's right. All of us Cowboy fans are going to be Titan fans tomorrow, for sure. And I'm not sure who I want to win tomorrow between the Giants and the Commanders. I got Rio over here talking about the Commanders, that they're the hottest team in the NFL and everything. And it's kind of like,
What? Calm down, Rio.
They're kind of feeling themselves a little bit there. It's like we done beat the Eagles, and after they beat the Giants, they're really, but then I don't want to give Cop Pizzle any hope either. I just, it's like I don't want either. Can a brother get a tie? That's what. Can a brother get a tie tomorrow between Washington and the Giants? There you go, Angelica, a tie.
I think I can deal with Rio more than Carpenter.
Yeah, that is true. I can definitely because we beat both of them, so they ain't got nothing to talk about. But tomorrow it'll be interesting to see if we can go ahead and just do what you're supposed to, stomp on the throat of a team, and just go on about your business, because this should be the stretch. Right now we've got 3 of the next 4 games at home against lesser opponents. We're playing mostly the AFC South here, and get ready to play the Eagles on Christmas Eve. Yeah, but Miss Gibson, true, they did beat the Commanders, but that was before the Commanders had Taylor Heineke eyebrows. They beat Carson Wentz. So does that really count? Does that really count? And honestly, yes, we lost to the Packers. I don't know that the Packers. I just don't know what happened to us in that game. Anybody else know what happened to us in that game?
I'm telling you.
A lot of things happen. A lot of things.
Not good things.
We didn't play complimentary football.
Well, we didn't. I think we actually coasted in the end. We were up 14 points and figured that game was over with, and Aaron Rodgers dug deep and got his thing going. Other news today, you guys see Matthew Stafford is on injured reserve, and pretty much his season is over with. Now, I thought that they were going to have a Super Bowl hangover, but 3-8, they are.
You got to come up with a new word. It's not even a hangover. What's worse than a hangover?
I mean, usually they take a step back. They took a step off a cliff. And if you are the Lions right now, you're feeling pretty good because you're getting their pick right now, the number 4 pick in the draft from them. So they made some hay on getting rid of that one, and you start to see. I mean, even the Eagles, they're getting New Orleans' number 1 pick as well. So it seems like those teams that have been trading, and Seattle, they're going to be getting Denver's number 1 pick. Seems like the teams that jettison quarterbacks are getting some great picks, and are in actually a great position for the future.
I just got a random question.
What's that?
I was just watching the highlights of our defense, like mid-season,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to know, what was your favorite sack? Like, if you had a sack that was your favorite that we have so far.
My favorite sack. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had. I like them all. I mean, there's 45 of them. That's hard to narrow it down. I'd probably have to say that the Sam Williams first 2 sacks, that game probably would be 2 of my favorite, or would definitely just because back to the Rams that ended up getting all these players and everything else. The thing I love about that, Ward family, what's up? See you next week, buddy. Seeing the young guys that we have on the roster, and seeing that this is the next generation. We know D-Law is getting older. D-Law is, having problems. Still get problems with his foot and stuff from before and stuff. Still a great player. But you also see these young guys that are getting out there and getting their first stack and their first taste and saying, yeah, we've got ammunition that's going to be coming up. Seeing Damone Clark and these guys like that. And I hate to say this, but, so many things that we all worried about in the beginning of the season. We talked about Cap Boy and how much we hated Cap Boy and how much bullshit he was giving us and stuff. Maybe he was just lucky as shit. But, he said things like, we believe in our own guys, the way the Rams are building their team and stuff, that's not the right way. The Rams I think they're kind of screwed for the next couple of years without those top picks and having all of the free agents that are older players. It's going to be, and I'm not, I don't feel bad for them. They got a Super Bowl last year. So if we got in a Super Bowl, I could be okay with a few years being bad and rebuilding and stuff. But you think about Tampa Bay, they did the same thing when Tom Brady came through, everybody else, Ndamukong Suh and Gronk and all these guys that weren't really part of the fabric of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They didn't really resonate, with that longevity. Got the Super Bowl, and now the team's going down the toilet. I look at this team, and I don't know if this team can win a Super Bowl right now, but you look at this and say, we got some really good young players on this roster, and this is one of the younger teams in the NFL, that this team should be good for the next couple of years. We don't have a lot of players. We got Zeke that'll probably be cut or, get him to take a pay cut. Tony Pollard, but you look at the rest of this roster, you're not losing any major players. Am I wrong? Anybody else look at that and say the future should be bright?
Very bright.
Extremely.
Miss Gibson, what's up? And lovely Rhonda. Rhonda, how was dinner on Friday night with you and your husband? I know you. Huh? Yep. Y'all have a spaghetti? I don't know. What was it you were having for that? I see Primetime Phil in the house. What's up, Primetime? Haven't seen Game Time. I know you guys got your show at 7 o'clock. Hopefully the mailman's got the delivery for a great win for the Cowboys. Carolina Cowboys, what's up? Yes, your cats love me. That was the craziest picture I've ever seen there, Rhonda, with your cat watching me during the live stream. Tomorrow, I'd like to hear everybody's prediction for a score.
I'll say 41-24 Cowboys.
You think Matty Ice is going to score 24 on our defense?
I don't know, man.
Maybe 14. Maybe with 17.
Yeah, 17. I'll give 17.
I'll say 35-17.
All right.
Okay.
We need 40, right? Might as well put up 40.
40 murder.
Might as well.
I hope they get back on track for the sacks because we only got 3 last week. I'm still trying to get to that 72 mark, which would be the NFL record. So we need to get 7 sacks tomorrow to get back on track.
How many we have now?
We have 45, which is amazing in itself.
Yeah, it's amazing.
45 is amazing. You know, we still have the 6 games left. But we need to get back on track. We need to get another banner game. Matt Ryan, who is about as slow as turtle shit, he and their offensive line is not good. They should be feasting on him. Angelica says 40-17. Another 40 burger. JJ says 31-13. I see Thomas Garrett in the house. Thomas, I know you're watching something. What are you watching, man?
College football.
I did have the SEC championship on.
Mm-hmm.
What's the score?
What do it look like?
Oh gosh, man, it's just getting started. Georgia's up 21-7.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They just
Okay.
missed the field goal.
Oh, Lord.
So, Thomas,
Anything can happen.
tell me what the
Better beat earlier, right?
Huh?
tell me the pulse of the Tennessee Titans. How are they feeling going against the Eagles?
Well, they think they can pull it off. They think they can pull it off. And I told a relative of mine, I said, hey man, look, you know me. You know I'm a Cowboy fan. But man, I got a crazy feeling, man, that Travis Henry, he's going for 125, 150 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Mike Braber, I'm telling Travis Henry, hey man, you're not coming out the field tomorrow. That's all it is to it.
It is.
You need a heavy dose of you.
Mm-hmm.
We need this game.
I already don't let it be known. I said, man, look, if Travis Henry have a good game tomorrow, Philadelphia losing.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. I'm saying Travis Henry. And he used to play with the Titans, as a matter of fact. But I said if Derrick Henry, if he go from 125, 150 tomorrow, Philadelphia's losing.
We need Tannehill to be good, honestly.
You know what's in? Yeah.
Tannehill, he got to turn the defense. Like, if they're gonna win, I understand we need Derrick Henry, or they need Derrick Henry to be efficient. But I don't know the Eagles. I don't know the Eagles. They just win. I don't know. I don't like the Eagles. I hate to see them win. They just win. It's not pretty, but they do what they got to do. I don't like it.
Yeah, but hold up though. But you know what? I'm gonna be a hater. I don't see the Eagle fans in the house right now, but I'm gonna be the hater right now, and I'm gonna look and say the last 4 games they played the Texans, the Commanders with the left hand up, the Colts, and the Packers. Now, they did run the hell out of football. They had 500 yards on offense against the Packers, but I think that the Packers, they just dug deep for the Cowboys. They just came to play that game, and the season was over.
The second half, and that's it.
Yeah.
They played the second half. And
But looking at the Eagles, because they kept, it's funny listening to Shady McCoy, who's like, Dak Prescott, he's a bus driver. He doesn't, he's not mixing the ball up and everything. He's not going deep in things. And there are going to be games where he's got to pass and he's just a game manager and all this other bullshit. But here's the thing that's kind of interesting is if you can stop the run of the Eagles. This is what they've passed the last 4 games against Texans, Commanders, Colts, and Packers. 217 yards passing against the Texans, 170 against the Commanders, 173 against the Colts, and only 137 against the Packers. They've been kind of going downhill as far as their passing goes. They're only averaging, like over the last 4 games, 160 yards passing. Right now they're like 28th in passing over the last 5 games.
What are they in rushing?
In rushing, they're number 1. But at some point, there's going to be if they can, listen, if you can stop Jalen Hurts and the damn quarterback draws, because here's the thing, we are actually rushing more per yard than the Eagles are.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just don't rush the ball as much. We pass the ball a hell of a lot better. Right now, over the course of the last 3 games, we are 4th in passing in the NFL. Does that surprise anybody? Our passing game, we're getting the 4th amount of yards over the last 3 games.
No, Mark, I thought Chicago was the number 1 team in the league in rushing.
They were until last week's, basically they had 330 yards rushing on the ground against Green Bay. Jalen Hurts had like 100 yards in the first quarter.
First quarter.
Yeah. And so that caught them. So you got the Bears are second. Now, this will be interesting because it seems like the Achilles heel for the Eagles is actually, like you said, Derrick Henry will be key. They're facing some teams coming up that can run the football that may end up hurting them a little bit. We'll have to wait and see.
Should we do like them and just wish all the negative stuff on the Eagles like they do us? Like, y'all gonna lose. But that's just not us, though, right?
Hell yeah. I'm about to put, Philly 500's always talking about Mark Holmes is sacrificing chicken. I'm thinking about going out here and getting some chickens to sacrifice. I'm sick and tired of listening to these damn Eagle fans and stuff in here, man. They're always cackling about how great they are. And I'm tired of hearing about last time you saw a Super Bowl was in VHS and all. Man, shut up. You got one damn ring. One. That's it.
Man, they done won 1 ring, and they're children. I'm not going to, they are children. But they done won 1 ring and think they done conquered the world. I'm like, dude, you won that ring 5 years ago. It isn't like you won the ring this past year. That was 5 years ago. And you're still
dwelling on it.
glorifying
I don't know.
for it.
And how they won that Super Bowl was kind of iffy, too, though. Like, hey, y'all didn't just have a great performance, man. Y'all got a lot of help, but it's cool. I ain't going to speak on it, but it's the Super Bowl.
It's all right,
Oh, there's Alan Walker. Just like cockroaches. Turn out the lights, and here they come. Alan Walker, we're talking about now. Y'all keep those rings. That 1 ring, laugh out loud, we go. Oh, boy.
You ain't at the grown folks table yet. You still down
No,
there.
they still at the kitty table.
It's still at the kitty table.
You still at the kitty table with them snotty nosed children.
What's up, Gina Thorne? How you doing tonight, Gina?
At the singles table, man.
He says, y'all still talking about those 5 rings. You still talking about that one?
That lonely one?
That one? Don't you think you need to find a baby brother or baby sister to go with that ring? It seems like that ring is lonely. Oh boy.
Lonely too.
Yeah. I had a point. I'm sorry, my brain. I've got a little bit of brain fog here. It's been a rough week for me, and I hadn't planned on being down in Waynesboro as long as I was, and just got back a bit ago. as
Hey, man,
far
they
as our,
doing you dirty with with your electric, man. I was watching those videos.
oh man, that's
That's crazy.
don't even remind me. That was one of those ones.
Hey,
The worst part was that I think I spent 4 hours on the phone with the power company with 3 different calls trying to figure it out. And it was so funny because the guy was like, they couldn't get in to do the electric service. I was like, the meter base is on the outside and so's the telephone pole. I said, what do you mean they couldn't get in? He said, oh, there could have been a dog or something. I'm like, there's no dog. I said, there's a cemetery next door. I don't know if the ghost kept them out, but, everything was like literally right there. And I was like, I was there the whole day. Then it was like, oh, there's no work order. It's like, well, wait a minute. You just said that they couldn't get in, and now you say there's not a work order. Which is it? Hold on. What? Anyway, it's done. For the Thanksgiving game, we have some breaking news here that our Cowboys, Peyton Hendershot, Jake Ferguson, and Sean McKenna all got fined along with Dalton Schultz. They actually fined all of our tight ends. Now check this out. And I'm trying to understand why they fined them different prices for the Salvation Army kettle jump. Hendershot is $39.44. Jake Ferguson is $48.95. Sean McKenna is $4,994. Okay, so why is it they literally charged $199 more for Sean McKenna versus Jake Ferguson, and Dalton Schultz gets $13,261 in NFL fines.
That's crazy.
Does that make any sense?
That's crazy. They'll do anything just to pick with her.
You can't have fun anymore.
You can't have fun anymore.
Oh man,
They said they was right about one thing. That it is the NFL. It's the no fun league.
Yep, no fun.
But the thing is, though, how is it that everybody's a different price? What?
I don't get it.
Tell me what the difference is between one and the other. That's what I don't understand. What is the difference between Sean McKenna and Jake Ferguson? They're both in the same kettle.
Has Dalton Schultz been fined before, right?
I don't know.
I know.
I don't think so. I think CD was the main one getting fined.
Yeah.
Telling the truth.
Okay, so here's another little interesting point on this, okay? Here's another little tad bit that goes along with this, too. So they had planned this, okay? And Dak had told the tight ends they have to have a 14-point lead to do this, and that the teammates would help cover the fines.
Which teammate?
Oh, well, he said teammates, so that they will all go together to help cover the fine. So they planned it ahead. But he said, we got to have a that's chump change. I mean, you need it to some of the players. Now, the younger players, the undrafted rookie free agents, that's a lot more than, say, if you're D-Law or Dak Prescott. But I kind of like that they said, okay, you can do that. We'll help cover the cost. But, basically we got to be kicking ass. So I'm okay with that. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I seen that interview too when he said that.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually pretty cool. And Micah Parsons got fined $11,000 for unnecessary roughness against the Giants.
Oh God!
Against the lineman?
No, actually, that was actually for unnecessary roughness. He did not get flagged for the hit on Nick Gates. So there's that.
And and the good part about that is all of the fines don't go to the commission. They go to a charity of your choice.
Yeah, true on that. True on that. So yeah, at least it go to a good cause. Hopefully.
With that crook that we got on Madison Avenue in New York City.
Jesse says our Achilles heel is our coach and Jerry Jones. I don't know. Has Mike McCarthy grown on some of you guys?
I mean,
Tyson like.
Mark. he has a point on that. I would say not Mike, not Big Mike.
Kellen
I'd
Moore.
Kellen
say
Moore.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen
He
Moore.
has a point.
Mm-hmm.
He has a point, but the wrong coach.
All right, I'm gonna go. Listen, I've hated to do this so much this season, but you got to look at the Cowboys right now from what the experts, if we listen to all the experts, remember they said Tyler Smith should have been a second or maybe in a third round draft pick. That guy is nothing but a penalty magnet. He's going to be screwed up. When we let go Connor Williams and Lyle Collins, the offensive line is going to be shit. Randy Gregory, how you going to get rid of a guy like that? And here it is. You got Dorrance Armstrong that's got 2 more sacks than any season that Randy Gregory's ever had. The team is way above what anybody thought it was going to do with the players that they had. They basically said, your team is ass. Your offensive line, it sucks. Our offensive line has actually been pretty good. And if Tyron Smith is actually healthy and inserted into the line, shit. You'll have one of the better offensive lines going into the playoffs with experienced backups ready to go. Right?
You know what's so funny, Mark? We have filled every blank in what the haters and all the 3 or 4 letter names in to the point that they have come with new material now.
No.
Well, the thing here's where it gets funny because again, Carson Wentz is being used a lot right now. So I've had somebody who, they're trying to joke you on Twitter. Twitter has gotten really crazy now. Twitter, it's almost like flies to shit now whenever there's a post. It's like literally the hate is just flowing in Twitter. But the thing now is, they're comparing Dak Prescott's and Carson Wentz's numbers right now. But the funny thing is everything is pretty much similar to Carson Wentz. Like, yeah, Carson Wentz got the same amount of yards. I was like, yeah, well, they both missed about the same amount of games. But be that as it may, Dak's rating is like 60-something. Carson Wentz's rating is like 30-something. So it's kind of like they're not really apples to oranges right there. But that's cool. That's cool. And, listening to a guy like Shady McCoy, where the Cowboys literally are 33.8 points per game since he's been back.
I hate him.
Right? He's a hater, man.
I hate him.
He looks, but it's so funny. It's like, the way he looks is like he feels like, yeah, I said it. I'm so smart. And it's like, you look like the village idiot. You sound like the village idiot. Yeah. And the shit that you say, okay, so yesterday or the day before yesterday, he was talking about, he shouldn't be risking the ball and this, that, and the other because, he's just a game manager. The week before was, he ain't risking the ball. I was like, man, pick a side. I don't care. Just pick a side one way or the other. Are you saying that he's a dink and dunk quarterback, or you can't go with the ball downfield? When he puts it down the field, then you're saying he shouldn't. So wait, what are you? And I'm almost wondering if the shows all seem to follow the same pattern, that they figure that they have to have one idiot that just says crazy shit. It used to be Dan Orlowski always was on ESPN, and I'm almost wondering if it's like when you have to join a gang, you have to get beat in, right? They kick your ass to before you can become a full-fledged gang member. In order to become actually a talking head, you got to say the dumbest shit ever that everybody just says, you stupid as hell. Because that is Shady McCoy. That used to be Dan Orlowski, right?
Yeah.
He the new flunky.
Right. And it used to be.
He's the new He gonna say something. He gonna say something different and stupid next week. You watch.
Oh, it will be. We beat. Here it is. We beat Minnesota 40-3, and it's like, well, Dak didn't show me anything.
Any news on James Washington playing this weekend?
We have not heard that if he is. I've not heard if he's active or not. He got a lot of work this week. He is the unicorn, and if I were him, I would want to. Because, with Odell coming to town, it's kind of like, I need to stake my claim.
Yeah. I need to get as many reps as I can, with Odell coming in Monday. So, and they saying that he's gonna play right off the bat. Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know about that because Odell, they said, probably won't be even doing a workout for the Cowboys. And this is where I start to wonder, okay, if you're telling me you're not ready to do a workout, when are you going to be ready to actually play a game? The way the Cowboys are ramping people up, 2 or 3 weeks before you get out on the field, we only have 6 games.
Yeah.
And you ain't playing tomorrow, and you wouldn't be playing the next week. That would be only 4 regular season games left.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm beginning to get on that whole, beginning to wonder if he's is going to be able to play anything, this season or not. I hadn't heard anything as far as his visit to Buffalo yesterday. We had heard, of course, how it went with the Giants.
I don't think the Giants is gonna get him because my thing is if you're gonna sign him, you're gonna make damn sure he don't go anywhere.
Didn't he have a bad relationship with the Giants when he left?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they got rid of him and ended up having to pay buku money.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go back there.
No.
Why would I go back there?
Why would you want to go? Why would you want to go back to a team that technically released you?
Kick you to the curb.
Yeah, you didn't end on good terms.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Which is kind of.
The Giants want to start young anyway.
That's one of the ones I was kind of like, would you want to go back to the people that got rid of you before?
I wouldn't.
To me, that was kind of like, I'm not sure that one makes sense.
Ass backwards to me.
Yeah, totally ass backwards.
Ass backwards.
Now, here's an interesting thing here. And I had haters. I almost, I used to get bothered by the haters and stuff, but now it's actually almost comical. When the Cowboys released Terrell Basham, on Tuesday, I did a video and stuff on there. I had some of the haters on Twitter saying, "Oh, of course, Mark Holmes is going to say something like that's the spot they opening up for Odell Beckham Jr. and blah blah blah," and stuff on there. And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So right now, Terrell Basham was released on Tuesday. Cowboys have not filled that spot yet. They still have that spot open.
What about I saw the elevator. Monte Collins. Who is he?
Who?
Monte Collins.
Tackle, yeah. But no, but they have a spot on the roster though that they can fill.
I think when they acquired, when they acquired Tack McKinley a couple of weeks ago, I think that made Basham expendable then.
Well, Basham had only been he was only on 2 games. And he, you've had right now. You got so many guys that are coming along. The problem is it's a numbers game. They've always liked him just the same way that they liked John Ridgway, and that they also like Tristan Hill. But the guys you haven't been doing a whole lot of damage and things. So you look at it and say, you only played in 2 games and got 2 tackles. We can do away with that. But again, that spot's still open right now. And Monday, Odell, and here's the thing. If you are going to sign Odell, get that shit over with. There's no reason to wait. If you are going to say, get him in there, throw the playbook at him, and get him working with your staff to try and get him up to speed. You're going to wait another 2 weeks to sign him? It's too late. Christopher, what are you playing over there, man?
And get him with your strength.
Huh?
NBA 2K.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you doing 2K?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, and what's name is? Well, he had a meeting here in Nashville yesterday. Terrell Basham did because the Titans is trying to pick him up.
You know why they're trying to pick him up?
Get back at the Cowboys.
That's right. Well, to get back at the Cowboys and to give up the playbook. I mean, that's the thing. You always hire the former, upcoming game players. Try and get some insight on the team.
Exactly.
Definitely want to do that one. All right. I love weed. What's up, Lead? Damian French. What's up, Damian? Damian, I got your piece out there. Unfortunately, I haven't been home for a couple of days. I've got to go sand and polish it, but we're going to get that out the way for you as soon as Michael comes back from seeing.
Da-da-dun, da-da-dun.
Damn, Gina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, John, turn him loose, man.
Turn who loose?
Turn Michael loose, man.
He's already looking. He ain't here. I ain't got control over that fool.
Mike got work to do.
He doing that work and stuff, man. He definitely, man, he was working hard in the workshop, building a toy chest and stuff for her sister's daughter. Hopefully they're not watching. It was a Christmas present. Too late. I done messed up on that one. Love the whole dynamic of traffic through here. Nice convo, fellas. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Cowboy fan from Patterson. Right, what's up right there? Shout out to Help Me Rhonda. Tomorrow we are doing a fried pork chop sub. Indianapolis is known for a fried pork chop sandwich. So I'm gonna double bread. I got some thin sliced pork chops, no bones. I'm gonna tenderize them a little bit. I'm going to double bread them. I'm going to deep fry those suckers, right? Now, traditionally, it's lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise and onions. And we'll do half the sub that way. The other half, we're going to make a mushroom gravy to pour on top of that sucker.
Ooh.
Nice. I know, Angelica, I know you don't like mushrooms. Okay, I know, but I'm telling you, you'd love my mushroom gravy. Yeah, that's going to be, I might be in a food coma before the game starts. And we have one of you fans that are actually coming over here too. Wes is going to be joining us tomorrow. And the Michael Ward is coming and joining us the following weekend. So we got some extra people that are going to be joining us. Some new faces here in the man cave. Boy, I love weed says I love chops. You're not going to change your name, are you?
How's the weather for tomorrow, Mark?
The weather, it's supposed to be about 50, I think. Probably go ahead and be on the inside because when you have the all-day game, it's just so much easier to be actually inside. Because it starts out kind of chilly in the morning. Well, no, it's not a morning game, but, it starts out nice and sunny and everything else, and then it kind of gets to be kind of long because it still kind of gets chilly. Because we'll be broadcasting from 1 o'clock until the Cowboy game is over, so it's going to be a long day. So my ass is going to be sitting right here in this spot.
I know down here it's going to be 70. So.
Oh, that's not. Now, if it was 70, I'd be outside. But I think the high temperature is supposed to be 50, 51. Ward family, man, I haven't thought that far ahead. I can't remember who do we play next week? Shit, I'm so out of the loop. Right, Houston. Hell, Thomas, you're not there. Let's see, East Side Herald. All right, what's Houston famous for, food wise? I don't even know. Barbecue? Houston barbecue, really?
Barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue and Mexican food.
Yeah, Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
Man, look, let me get through the pork chop sub, man. Just Michael, we'll have something good, okay? Y'all putting me on out here, and I'm trying to get through tomorrow. You got me going on next week. Anybody have any concern? Any concerns?
I just hope we don't come out flat. That's all that's my concern. Especially against a Colts who's very undermanned.
Yeah, anything can happen on any given Sunday.
Yeah.
We have to jump on the Colts quick. We can't.
Yes, sir.
We can't be in this game tomorrow night. We can't be in. Pardon my language, but we can't be in this game tomorrow night pussyfooting. We can't be playing around. We need to jump on them quick and often.
And be dominant.
In this game early.
Mm-hmm.
We got this game early against the Colts. We can't do what Pittsburgh and Philadelphia did. We can't do.
We can't let them hang around.
No.
Yeah, we can't do that. It's Gus Bradley or DC, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's their DC.
Yeah.
And not only
he runs
that,
that cover. He runs that
not
cover
not
three
not
scheme, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and not only that, Gus Bradley is a Dan Quinn disciple.
Yeah.
He was on that coach staff in Seattle when they won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
How crazy is it that we've got this defense after what we had in 2020?
Oh yeah, Mike Nolan.
I mean, no, think about that. How crazy is it that we have this defense after having one of the worst ones in the Cowboys history 2 years later to have this and to have one of the best players, a player that if he can keep a career like this going, might be one of the best of all times, leading them.
We got two good safeties. That's what I like. We haven't had good safety play in a while. So I like Wilson. I think I like Wilson more than Kirk.
And Mark, right now, I'm supposed to be in Dallas. We were supposed to went to this game tomorrow night, but my cousin backed out at the last minute and said that he wasn't going.
Yeah, I had a couple of things. I was working on this is my thing, and I'm not going to be able to make it to Dallas unless we go to the playoffs and have a home game. I was working on some stuff. I won't go into details right now. That's still in the works, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to work when I wanted it to work. And that's how things work out sometimes. They work out, maybe not the way you want them to, but eventually they work out. And everybody's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Excuse my language. But
is it what I think, Mark, or no?
Yeah, it is. It'll work, Brian. It's going to work out. It's just not going to work out when I want it to work out. But it'll work out, and it'll be great when it does work out. But
okay. So it's not going to.
Oh, but actually, well, Brian, Brian. Oh, Brian.
What up, man?
Hey, where again?
Wait a minute.
With the shave. Oh, Lord.
Brian, what the fuck happened to your face?
Sorry, man. Yeah, I had him. It's coming back. I had a malfunction, man.
He said a malfunction.
Oh, I ain't had a malfunction like that. Here, this is a true story. True story. Okay. Unlike nowadays, see, I think with all the medications that don't actually get filtered out in the water and stuff, the kids are maturing a lot younger than they did when we were kids. Okay. Kids, the kids didn't have booties like they do now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had my mustache when I was young. I was about like 17. I had a mustache, and I was cool. I was trying to trim it up. My mom had gotten used to it.
Alcohol for the underage.
Oh, actually, when I was in high school, the drinking age for beer was 18.
Oh, okay, you were good.
I turned 18 in October my senior year of high school.
Yeah, I remember being on a senior trip, and the guy went and had a full beard. He walked in and grabbed a case of beer, threw it in the everybody be quiet for the little kids. He threw it in the tub, Florida, and we were living it up until we got caught.
Well, I accidentally messed up my mustache and shaved it off. My mom said, "You look like a pig chicken. Don't you ever shave that off again."
Spots, like a chia pet.
And I have not shaved it off since then. It's been there my whole life. But speaking of that, here's how things are different in the world today. After our homecoming game that we won in high school, I went down to 7-Eleven. We bought a 24-pack of beer, went back up to the school grounds, and we were drinking beer in the parking lot. And a police officer came up and said, "You can't drink on school grounds," and made us pour it all out. Can you believe that? It was the craziest shit ever. And that brings me to Jerry Jones. How many people think Jerry Jones should be condemned for what he did when he was a teenager?
I don't know enough about the situation other than he's 15 years old, man. I don't know.
I don't
know, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna. If I wait, I don't have enough information. He was a part of a group of people that wasn't allowing.
Which was half of the country.
Yeah, but I don't know. Listen, man, I'm not gonna tell somebody how to feel. So that's basically where I'm at. I'm always going to lean towards. I was 15 years old. I look back when I was 15. I didn't know.
I did a lot of shit at 15.
I only knew what somebody told me to stand for when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody could think for themselves when they're 15, then great. But maybe nowadays, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think.
You know,
That's a deep subject.
It is, man.
it is, and people keep asking me, and it's kind of like I equated it too because listen, I did some things that I'm embarrassed about now that I look differently because, thinking back at how back then football, you had football players, and then excuse me for saying this. This is not politically correct, but we used to call the band members band fags, okay? And there was a big thing about being a football player and a guy and versus people that were homosexual, and we had the biases in the same way black and white was back then. And this is in recent history. Now, I evolved. I was hating people that I didn't know anybody that was gay, and I was like, you're a faggot. But I don't know. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. And that's where I look at it and say, wow, things are really different, and I was an idiot for feeling the way I was. It used to be like, oh, man, keep the gay people away from me. They're going to make me gay. No, they're not going to make you gay. You're not going to be gay if you're not gay, okay? It's not. It just doesn't work that way.
Education.
And that's where being educated in things and things change and evolve. So, if you want to condemn me for what I did as a teenager, even though my views have changed completely,
right,
100%, and
we're still learning.
You're still
evolving.
Right.
I'm still learning and evolving. I'll learn a part of a subject that I thought I had the answer to, and I didn't know shit. You know what I mean?
Now, unfortunately, what happens is, of course you're going to take Jerry Jones. I'm not taking Jerry Jones aside. I'm putting look, I don't know the man because he may still have those same biases. I don't know if he does or doesn't. I know that when I've seen him, just a random dude that's walked up to him and said, hey, Jerry Jones, how are you doing? I'm Mark Holmes, a Dallas Cowboy fan. Hey, how you doing? And have a conversation with him. He's not saying, get away from me, in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's doing there.
Naive and say he's made more minorities millionaires than just about any sports franchise owner ever.
You got the point there.
But that's naive and saying, well, you just don't throw money at a situation and everything goes away. I understand. So, like I told you, Mark, I'm not gonna tell somebody how to feel. I don't have enough about that picture and what he was doing in that picture, other than look at his face. He's a young kid. Full life in front of him, not knowing what the hell's going on in a time when it was chaos and ridiculous and wrong.
Nice little humble brag there, Mark. What do you mean not humble? I'm not proud. You know what? I'm not proud of. I'm not proud of what I was doing back then. I mean, back then I didn't know any better. But I'm trying to be humble enough to say I can't condemn somebody else when I was doing exactly the same thing, and I was an active participant. I know, and I'm admitting that I was, and that I was wrong for what I was doing. I learned from that. So I don't know how that's bragging. That's actually should be ashamed that I was ever doing that. But I was going along with the crowd. I'm a football guy. Yeah, huh?
To get back to your original question, I wish Jerry would say something. Go ahead, Stacey.
Yeah, I do too.
And this is what I've said all along.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been a very slow day at the Washington Post. If you have to go back 65 years to dig up dirt,
I'm
like Mark, okay, all Jerry is doing in this pit, people just try to change the narrative. They're trying to divide us, Cowboy Nation. Don't fall for it. And this is all I'm saying about that. Jerry is 14 years old. He's standing there. I don't see him cursing at people, wielding a weapon. He's there. He looks curious. Okay, I am them trying to get us to follow this narrative, and all of us have said and done things that we are not proud of, and let he that is without sin cast the first stone. Sorry, I am sick of it. I was on Instagram, and all these people are talking about, cancel Jerry Jones. I'm not canceling Jerry Jones or the Cowboy because God has granted us all grace, and I don't want to hear it because we've all done wrong. And Brian, Mark, I
Mm-hmm.
still look at Sanford and Son, All in the Family. I
Yeah,
love
I
those
was just
shows.
getting ready to say that, Stacey. You brought up
Oh,
perfect.
I'm not
Yep.
offended.
see,
Okay.
wait, but you know what's funny?
But you brought it up
Oh
right
my God.
there. Go
There,
ahead,
I'm
but
not,
I know what you're gonna say. But you
it's a
brought up right
listen.
there.
The world was a different place.
yes.
There was one Saturday morning. Tracy and I, there's so many damn cable channels and stuff. There was like an old TV channel that had this old Western with this guy Clint or Chint or whatever, Masterson, and he was
Right.
like the sheriff and stuff.
That
And he literally,
That mess.
he literally had this woman that he was putting in the jail and said she's been bad. And I'm going to give her a good spanking. Okay.
Eastside Harold.
And I was just like, wait a minute. He's got her on his lap and and I'm just like, wow, we could get away with that on television back then. And that's where you got to understand. It was a totally different time and a totally different world.
Differently back then. There were way more of objects back then.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
And if people need to go, all these people on social media that know nothing about Jerry Jones. I'm sorry, I do not want to hear it. I've been lambasted because I was on there.
Well,
I was telling people I'm not canceling Jerry Jones or the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I'm concerned, I do not care that LeBron James has decided to no longer, follow the Cowboys. I don't care.
I don't care either.
Okay, but
I was in Mike Fisher's live yesterday, and I said LeBron James needs to take care of his receding hairline. Leave Dallas Cowboys alone.
ooh.
Hey, calm down. Hey, that's personal.
That's
Hold
your
on.
boy.
Whoa.
Hey, I like LeBron. Hold on, that's personal.
I'll just
Hey, man.
Yeah, Stacey, I don't know if you heard my
I have a
comment,
different view.
but
I
I'm not
did.
going to look at a photo and say I can
No.
tell you what somebody's thinking.
You can't
But
do
what
it.
annoys me the most is when you look at Twitter, and they're just stirring the pot. It's the people that are stirring the pot and say, "Oh, you're gonna let Jerry Jones do this." I don't know Jerry Jones. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm not Jerry Jones' friend or can tell you what he did or didn't.
Well, okay.
Don't tell me that as an Eagles fan that how dare us, not come out against Jerry. Okay.
Didn't they have Riley Cooper?
Yeah, and that.
Didn't they have Riley Cooper?
Yes, sir.
Okay, which is recent history.
And you can't tell me that you pull back the rug, there ain't more, or
Right.
there's
It's too many.
there's
If they pull
more.
back the rug, you will feel
against
totally different about
everybody. So
Yeah.
people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Nobody's perfect.
There you go.
I'm not perfect.
There you go.
14 and question your family and friends about things you may have said. No, none of us wants that. No, I'm not falling into the trap. They're trying to divide and conquer Cowboys nations. We have to remain strong.
Well, here's the thing about Twitter, and now more than ever, is Twitter is just like, it no matter which side you're on, it's just hate. Okay, it's just like you've drawn lines, and it's just everybody's there to do battle.
Somebody waiting to attack you on anything you say. Just get ready.
That's exactly what it is. It's literally like, it doesn't matter, if Jerry Jones, and you've got all the bots and everything else and all that stuff that's there. And this is what I found so funny today, because I did a lot of driving the last couple of days, and I do a lot of thinking. This is one of those things that one day I'm going to get me an RV and I'll be happy about it, because I literally will think constantly while I'm driving. And I was coming up the road by myself, and I was thinking to myself about investing. Okay. And there's so many things that you can invest in. Okay. People think of, when I say investing, you think about money in the stock market, but it's beyond that, because anything that you do in life, if you want to be successful, you have to invest in it. That doesn't matter, if it's your kids, You have to invest your time and effort into making them good. If you're married, you have to invest your time into having a great marriage, your job. If it's YouTube or it's woodworking, whatever. I was trying to do this as a motivational thing to kind of put things in perspective that, so many times people are ready to say, I'm not successful because that guy is. And instead of investing their time into themselves and figuring out how to make themselves and successful, they're investing all their time in a poor investment of hating somebody else that's not going to help them. And when I put this video up, I'm getting the good old haters. And it amazes me how the people that say they hate you and want to cancel you and everything, they watch more than the regular person who likes you. It's just like they're a miserable person and all they want to do is make everybody else miserable around them. And that seems to be more of anything else what Twitter is going for. It's going for people that just want to be miserable and make everybody else miserable with them. I don't understand that. Life's too short and too precious to waste that time hating when you can do something positive. Hate is addictive. You're right about that, Vitamin.
Yeah.
Mark, when I saw that picture, of Jerry Jones when he was only a freshman in high school, I looked at it real close and I said to myself, man, this dude ain't doing nothing. He's in the background. I don't see no pointing. I don't see
him yelling.
His face. I don't see no yelling.
Now, if he was up front there with a cigarette, with a swinging a fist or kicking then I'd say, okay, yeah.
I see that. But I don't see nothing. This.
But what happened before that picture and after that picture?
Right.
Like, it just shows that picture. I understand we seen that moment, but what led up to it and what happened after it? Like.
Right.
Yeah, like I said a couple of days ago. I said, man, I said, man, I'm sorry, man, but I gotta go with what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm not going to praise him or persecute him based on a photo. He needs to be asked a question, and he needs to answer. Well, I think that would go more of how we have this conversation. We're looking at a photo, responded to a bunch of hot stars, whatever. It's a fair question, but I'm not.
Like
John McGrew, shout out to you.
But it is something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be addressed.
I wish he would say something about it and just say, look, you know what? Yeah, I was there as a kid and things and blah.
He took the high road the other day and praised LeBron, but that wasn't. But it was a dance, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is? It's the age in which we live. We already discussed this.
It doesn't matter what you say.
So it's almost like, okay, I have to say something fake because if I say what I thought as a 14-year-old and didn't know shit, how's that going to come off 60-some years later, like Stacey said? So
yeah,
I don't know.
Right, and it's again,
that's a deep subject. It is.
Yeah, it is. But it's. Hey, listen. At least we're bringing it up and discussing it. We're talking about it more than a lot of these hot stars just don't really care. They're just throwing it out there.
Well, part of the reason why I brought this up again is the night that it came out, I actually did a fireside chat and bared my soul about what I did as far as, my own personal biases that I had and stuff. But I got called out on Twitter. They're like, it's amazing how Mark Holmes and Foots aren't saying anything about this and this, that, and the other. And it's like, I have talked about it. I mean, I was supposed to talk about it ad nauseum. And it's kind of, unfortunately, and here's the problem of being a black man. Okay, I know people look at me and some people don't realize I am a black man. Okay, if you are a 16th black, you black. Okay, I'm not going to be welcomed at a Klan rally or anything like that. Unfortunately, being a black person, I have to kind of ride the line because if I say things, people automatically, I get called a racist all the time.
It's like politics.
Okay, I'm not. You can't win.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I have to bite my tongue. But what I try and do is we all have stereotypes.
We do.
But what I try and do is I try and educate people by being an example.
How old were you, Mark, when you started thinking for yourself? Because each generation is different. Okay, your father, your grandfather, or you would think would be different than these kids growing up. Their
Yeah.
father and their grandfather. So, what were you taught as a kid? That's what it's to me. That's what it comes.
Well,
back.
see, for
How were you
me,
raised? Right?
well,
And
see,
how old was it before you said, "No, I'm gonna think for myself"?
see, I never had any of these biases from my parents that said
But
don't
that's not
like.
the case
No,
with a
no,
lot of
I never,
people.
no, I never got any of that from my parents that you shouldn't like this,
Me
that, the
neither.
other. Now, of course, they would say that's a cracker, you know. And when I was a kid, because my class, I was early classes that were integrated, I was being called a nigger all the time, and I was bullied as a kid. And my dad got pissed off about it. We went up to the school, and he's like, "Look, my son's getting bullied by all these damn kids and stuff." And they're like, "Now, Mr. Holmes, kids will be kids." And my dad turned to me and said, "You know what I want you to do, son?" He said, "The next time one of them mess with you, you find a brick or you find a stick and you knock the biggest one upside the head, and you won't have a problem again." That was when the principal was like, "No, Mr. Holmes, now hold on here."
Listen, that's what you gotta do.
But
Hey, fact. Hey.
You know what, Mark?
mhm.
It's just, and I tell people, and I grew up in school. I was in Pennsylvania, New York, so, and I'm not old enough to have gone through segregated schools, but I wasn't raised to, dislike people
Right.
of different races. I grew up listening to rock and roll. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get some tickets now to the ABBA concert. They're on tour. I grew up
Dancing Queen.
Yeah, I grew up listening to classic rock. That's what Mom listened to. Dad didn't, but Mom did. So that's why I listened to a lot of rock and roll.
I did growing up in high school too.
Yeah, and when I went to school in Whitehall, Pennsylvania, right before we moved to Alabama, I went to a school where there was me and one other black person. We did not have any problems. We didn't. So I don't understand, this narrative, and people need to wake up and realize they want us at each other's throats.
There you go.
Into what they're doing.
Yeah, just trying to divide us.
And I tell people I've been treated good and bad by people of all races. That's just what it is.
There you go. And see, that's the thing is you can't put everybody in a category.
Right.
Okay. And this is where people look and say, "Oh my God, a football player, he beat his wife." Guess what? They're a cross section of society. Everybody is a different individual. Okay. It doesn't, you got cray people that are in your neighborhood, just like Antonio Brown. He cray. Okay. All right.
CTE.
Well, CTE or whatever, how's that different than the crackhead that's crazy out there, or the bath salt guy or whatever. But you have to judge each person as an individual. I know white people that are biggest pieces of shit in the world, but I also know some black people that are the biggest pieces of shit in the world. But it doesn't mean that everybody white or black is that person.
I was always taught to judge a particular person on your own. Don't say
Christmas 1986. Let me actually disagree with you. Mixed is not black. You go back to the Constitution and the way everything was. If you were a 16th black, you black.
Yep.
If you go in every application I've ever filled out in my life, what race are you? I never seen mixed on the application.
That's right.
I never see mixed on the application.
People out there.
I got Indian, I got Irish, I got black. Who knows what else? But all it says on there for me is black.
Yeah,
that's the way it is. There's no mixed. There's no multiracial. That's not the way to look at it.
Damn, guys, what did I walk into?
Damn, Jerry.
Blue and white scrimmage? Yeah, man, those blue guys. Golly.
We were talking about Jerry Jones' photo.
Did I come into stage
Okay.
broadcast over here?
So you are what your father was, period. Hold on. My father looks like me. So what does that mean? Okay. Can we just get back to some glory hole days? Okay. Okay. All right. I'm actually going to. Okay. I'm going to actually go a little bit deeper here into this conversation, because sometimes the universe really fucks with you. Okay?
Yeah.
My bias again was, and I didn't, and here's the thing that's crazy about this. I was biased against gay people, and I didn't know any gay people. I didn't have anybody gay who did me wrong or tried to hit on me or do anything like that, right? Right. But I knew I had a bias against gay people.
I appreciate it.
I got to know Damien, who worked with Tracy, who was gay. And I was like, oh my God, there's a gay person. Oh, okay. They're going to be hitting up. It's like, but he taught me, first of all, he was like, dude, don't nobody want nobody that's not gay. We're not trying to turn you into gay. And besides, you ain't that cute. Then all of a sudden you get a compliment. What do you mean? I'm a good looking dude. Okay. Some years later, I was doing work. They were trying to build a big strip club in DC. It was going to be the biggest strip club in the East Coast and this, that, and the other. They had the building and everything else, and the guy who had the money and stuff for it. The guy who actually owned the club or the building actually had a gay club in DC, a gay sex club. And I ended up having to do a lot of work at the sex club that was open 24 hours a day. Okay. So my bias was completely in the middle of this. And the funny thing is I actually got a complex because I'm like, wait a minute. I got all these gay guys that are here. Ain't not a single one hitting on me. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I remember some people from work say, hey, yeah, let's go to this place. They have great wings. It's all you can eat wing night.
Right.
I get there. I went there the third time. I didn't even notice.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I could give two shits. They were the best wings around. I went and sat down and got some wings.
I like having my drinks paid for too.
There you go. No, I'm just saying that
I didn't realize there's a dude in chaps next to me with nothing else.
Right. That's basically how it was.
How good the wings were.
But the thing is I had a fear and a bias that was unfounded. They're doing their thing. I'm doing my thing. Why can't I let as long as you're not hurting me, then what is the problem with somebody else doing something that's making them happy?
I'm not going to get into somebody's, like I said, I could care less what people do. Just don't do it in my house or my face.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. I'm not going to, that's just how I am. Do your thing, man.
Yeah.
Don't judge me. I won't judge you.
You are what your father is. Number 118. Again.
There's a lot to be said, but I would say you can learn and move on.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
And that's where, in the end.
Can I say something?
Go ahead. Oh yeah, please do, Christopher.
Yeah, I don't know, to try to defend LeBron. I just think he was trying to say, as African Americans, we have to jump through so many hoops when we do.
You right about that?
Just to get back in the good graces. And Jerry Jones was obviously doing something that he wasn't proud of, but he hasn't apologized or tried to give itself, give us an explanation or something. Yeah. I don't even know, but from LeBron, that's what I got from LeBron.
Yeah, I didn't take him being condescending at all. He was actually very eloquent, and I'm not a big LeBron fan. My kid loves LeBron, and I'm like, because I'm just upset that he didn't come to my team. I'm like, whatever. But as far as that, he was nothing but respectful. LeBron, he was just asking a question. It's everybody else that's got to run their mouth. Jerry needs to answer it, but I'm not going to persecute a guy until we find out what his mindset was, if he can even tell you. 65, I'm sure he could, but I'm sure any one of us that were 14 years old, we might not want to go back and say, what was they actually thinking? Because he told you how to think that way. How did you learn to think that way?
John McGrew says, to me, it's not race, it's ethnic origin.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, seriously.
Anyway, the Cowboys play the Colts tomorrow, and now that that's where did prime time leave? Because prime time, what the hell did I join tonight?
Yeah, I was like, damn, I don't join for like 2-3 weeks. I come in on this shit.
It's like, damn, I fucked up. No, but in the end, we're all people. And guess what? We all want our kids to do well and be happy. We want to have a nice home. We want to be able to have an equal opportunity and a chance and so on. And what we find out is the people that we fear are more alike us than they really are different.
Well, it's not until you spend 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days with somebody you kind of get to know the real person. You know, you can look at judge a book by its cover, but until you read the book, you don't know. Spending that week with Mark, week and a half with Mark, I'm sure he learned more about me than what he maybe thought when he saw me, and vice versa. That's the only way to get past this, is to spend time with each other.
Yeah, and I'm sure you learned a lot about me. It's like, that motherfucker. He crazy. I understand why he was crazy, Mark, in college.
He's scary with a drill in his hand.
Oh, wait a minute. The Cowboys are wearing the red striped helmet. Oh, Lord.
No. Don't tell me they're doing that.
A Lord said that.
No.
I heard that.
That's been retired.
No, we're not, because they would have said something about it.
That's a November thing anyway.
Yeah, they wanted to sneak it up on us. They were like, nah, just tell them at the last minute.
This is no stripe December.
There you go. Yeah, I my wife said, I like the beard. I kind of trimmed it up a little bit. Not like you did, Brian. You just like.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes
but my hair comes. I just did it, so it'll come. Oh yeah, by next week we'll be back. It will be good.
I just wasn't expecting that. Yeah. All right, so prime time. Would you like to chime in? I know you guys have your show at 7.
He's slicked back. He looks like Pat Riley over there.
Like I had a busy week. By the time I knew it, it was at the end of the week. I'm like, man, we got a Colts game going on.
Yeah, it was
Sunday night football, right?
Yeah, well, last Saturday he's like, yeah, we're gonna put a show on during the week. I'm like, why don't we just take the week and we'll just be back next Saturday? Bill's like, no, we're gonna get a show together. I hadn't heard from him all week. I knew he was busy.
Yeah, my appetite was bigger.
Relax, man. We did 3 shows in 5 days or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, let's keep on going every 2 days. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Yeah, no.
Well, I had been down. I thought I was coming back Thursday afternoon, but it ended up being I didn't get back till today. And yesterday, drove back up here, then drove back down there, and so on. So I've been like really out of the loop this week.
Is he doing better?
Thomas, Eastside Harold wants you. He said you're being quiet. I don't know what that means.
Don't worry, Thomas. Don't worry, Eastside. Your time is coming, buddy. The Cowboys, your time is coming. Cowboys are going to be getting you.
We're going to pay. You're coming to the house. Big house.
Yeah. All right, so what you guys got going on here at 7 o'clock?
We're going to talk about clipping coupons and saving. And no, man, we're going to talk about Cowboys.
Oh, look, clipping coupons.
Playing the Colts. And yeah, man, we're going to just, what we think is going to happen. The Colts is a tricky team, I think.
It's going to be one of them games where we're going to know right away. We're going to win the game. I'm gonna put it out there. I know it's a stretch, but it's more like how are we gonna look? Are we gonna look good? Are we gonna go wire to wire? Or are we gonna struggle like we have been doing and kind of, like I heard a word. I don't know. I think it was on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got to stop fiddle farting with these teams. So we got to put them out like right away. Do our game plan right away. Don't let them be in the game. Don't go for it on our own 30-yard line. Then it's like a desperate team that's not as good as the other team.
Well, we always get everybody. We are team Super Bowls.
I go out there.
And if you're the Colts right now, if you can knock off the Cow, especially Jeff Saturday, he ought to be very motivated to kind of turn the page over what happened last week.
I'm curious. Is Tyson? Is he frozen or is he playing? He's trying to do a staring contest with someone.
Nah, his screen is black on mine.
Oh, okay. I got it frozen on mine. Okay.
Doing the mannequins.
Yeah, it's gone.
That's why I'm all like, oh, he's good. He's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're going to get ready to get up out of here and stuff. But before we do, anybody think that the Titans can beat the Eagles tomorrow?
Hell yeah.
James, yes, I see it. I got your email. Glad you got it.
Y'all got to remember something. The Titans have beat Philadelphia in the last 5 or 6 games that they have played. So, yeah.
You don't think A.J. Brown's going to have a little bit of motivation?
Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. So yeah, but seriously, yeah, I think the Titans can beat them. I do because like I've been like I told a few people throughout the week. The Tennessee Titans, they're the type of team that they win games like this.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They they play against a big time team like Philadelphia, and everybody got the Titans favorite. They got the Titans as the underdog. Come to find out, the Titans beat the hell out of them. So yeah, I like Tennessee's chance. I do.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, the line's telling me to like Tennessee. It's a lot closer than I expected. In Philly?
Yeah,
the line right now is Eagles -4.5.
Is it in Philly or in Tennessee?
It's in Philly.
And then they've got three. Then they've got 3 games on the road, right?
Right, but if it was in Tennessee, I could see I could see that, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
no?
Well, Jordan Davis is back, but I'm telling you that their passing game misses having Dallas Goedert. Their passing game has not been good. Their running game has been good. Well, at least it was good this past week. But they have come back down to earth. They're winning, but when you think about playing the Texans, the Commanders, the Colts, and the Packers, they did lose to the Commanders, and the other games have been kind of close, with the exception of the Green Bay.
And Mark, have you ever noticed that? And they've been saying it all week long. The Tennessee Titans, they remind you of a AFC North team.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, if all you young folks in the chat, the Tennessee Titans, they were, when they were the Houston Oilers, they were in the AFC Central
Mm-hmm.
with Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So they have that old AFC North / Central mentality. That's the reason why they win games like this, because they tend to slow games down. And if they slow this game down tomorrow, they're going to win. And not only that, Tennessee, their defense, they're going to have to take that. They're going to take that right side away from Jalen Hurts,
Mm-hmm.
because when he run an RPO to the right, that's his bread and butter. He don't do well on the left, but he do well on the right side.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Take that away.
Well, let's hope.
Take that away. I see Tennessee winning.
All right. Well, Twins Digger says I'm just hating because that they're still great. All right. Well, again, I don't know why Eagle fans bother about what I have to say about their team. I just don't. All right, good people. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, as well as you ladies. We'll be starting out about 1 o'clock tomorrow. I've got the big sub, so don't worry. Shout out to everybody who came in and has been part of the show. And we'll end with this one. Hopefully we'll hear this a lot tomorrow, because I've been missing the Philly 500 meltdowns.
I need a new one.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't
Hurts
handle the
to
truth.
pass, throws, pick. Horrible pass. Oh my God. Stupid, 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 stupid.